Okay, so I am here with my fairly new machine. I haven't really used it much since I got it, but I was going to show everybody how to thread a serger. And it's pretty intimidating when you look at it, but it's really not that bad. I've only done it once, so hopefully it's not that bad. But anyways, I will go ahead and start to show everybody how you thread the serger. Okay. So as you can see, there's 4 different threads, and I'm going to try to use threads that at least match the green. So the green one would be your first thread that you're going to thread. So you're going to put it in the back. As you can see, there's little places to hold your thread. So you put it in the back, then you thread it through here, and then it's pretty easy. You pretty much just have to follow the directions. So you do one, you got to push this little button over to open it up. So you put it in, close it. So that was 3 steps. So you come down and you follow 4. You're going to follow the green. You have to excuse my cat meowing in my ear. So you go down to number 5, 6 here, 7 is here, and then it goes out to, I don't know if you can see this little, right here, this little arm. It's very, very hard to see, but I'm going to zoom in close. Bear with me just a second. Okay. So here we go. So the first thread goes through this little arm here, and you get tweezers that come with your serger, or at least this serger did. You always want to make sure the machine is off before you start threading and messing with it, just in case, you know, it goes on for some crazy reason. Okay, so that was your first thread. So you just pull it through the back, and then I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Okay, so the second one you thread is going to be your blue thread, and again you put it back here on the little spool holder. You go through the top, sorry for my reach, so you go through the top here, through here, and then number 2 is here, so you want to make sure the thread goes through there, and then number 3 you have to push this back and feed the thread. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I need 2 hands to do that though. Into one, I'm pushing 3 over to the right, and then it opens up the wheel, and that's where you can fix your tension. And so I'm going to follow it down again. So there's 4, 5, and then I go through both of these little hoops down here. So 5, 6, 7. Now I go over to 8. So now I'm at 8, so I'm following the blue, but the blue kind of ends. So what you do with, I'm sorry, the blue doesn't end. So what you do here is there's a little arm here that you pull out. And again, like I said, you know, I have not done this very often, and I'm doing it kind of sideways, so bear with me just a second. Okay, so I have to roll this back down. Okay, there we go. So it's really hard to see. So anyway, so there's this little lever that you pull out. So 8, now 9, you pull that out. 10, there's a little area that you put the thread in. So you're going to put it in there. And then 11, you just push it back. And then there's a little needle here that you pull it through. And again, you're going to need your tweezers, and it's better if you can reach back here because it all has to go out the back anyways. It's kind of tricky, but okay. So you pull it through here. Okay, so I have 2 of them thread. So the next are the needles. So that's kind of like your bobbin, I guess it would be on a regular sewing machine. So now you have 2 needles. You don't always have to use both needles on the top. A lot of times you'll take one out if you don't need an actual like a straight stitch. So your next color is going to be red, and again you're going to put this in the back. You're going to do the same thing. You're going to thread it through the top, and it just holds it, this little periscope thing. And you're going to go through 2, you're going to push back 3, you're going to feed it through, oops, you're going to feed it through here. So 4, see it tells you again 4, 5, so I'm going to go around, I'm going to go up, and I'm going to go down. So that's 5. Now, this is your first needle, and this is your needle closest to the machine, the left one. So, if you can get it up as far as you can to thread it, it'd be good. Okay. Threading this is not as easy as my embroidery machine. You just push a button and it threads it itself. But it's actually not that bad. Okay, so you pull all the threads to the back. So now you have your left needle thread, and now you're going to do your very last one. This should be yellow. I'm just going to use a kind of a taupe color. So again, you do the same thing. Go through the top. Go number 2, 3, and then you follow it around. 4, 5, and around 2. It's a little holder right here for your needle. And then, oops. Okay. So you thread your second needle. And again, you're going to pull everything out the back. Alright, so there you go. So that's threading. It's actually not as bad as it looks. It's more intimidating than anything, especially when you start looking at the machine with all these little things. But so now I'm going to get a piece of material and I'm just going to show you how it works. I'll be right back. Okay, so I have a little piece of test thread. I'm going to turn my machine on. I'll find the button over here. Okay. So it is on. I have a little tray that you can put underneath here so all the kind of extras that cut come out. Let's see if I threaded it right. Let me find the right foot down here because I've got a couple machines plugged in. Alright, first of all I'm just going to start threading, but you got to make sure your thread doesn't hang up back here. Alright. Alright. Let me pull this out back here. Okay. Alright, and as you can see, I don't know if you can see that, I'll bring it closer. There is what the machine does. So now I just have to put my material in there and make sure well, I don't know if the settings will be right, but I'll just go ahead and put material in here so you can see how it looks on a little piece of material. So here's your lever, you put that down, and then you just start sewing. And you always want to sew a little bit extra out of the back. Okay. And that actually looks pretty good. It's kind of hard to see, but that's the back. So that your blue's obviously the blue on the machine. Your red, I don't know if you can see the red. Actually, it's over here on this side, if you can see the red. The green is very, very light. That's actually right here. You can hardly see it. And then the yellow, the white one, is actually a stitch. So you don't really need that unless you are, putting a garment together. This actually looks pretty good. I'm going to try some other settings because I'm about to do a baby blanket. And I really haven't used this serger much, so I'm going to do a couple of tests on how to do this different stitches. So thanks for watching, and I'll post another video on different stitches using your serger.